Thomas J. Abercrombie Joe was a senior staff writer and photographer for National Geographic, well known for his work on Middle Eastern countries. During his tenure at the Geographic magazine, Abercrombie traveled to all 7 continents, becoming the first staff photojournalist to travel to the South Pole in 1956 while providing photographs for Paul Seipel's coverage of the first overwinter stay at the South Pole Station. Other notable coverage includes his photographs of Jacques Cousteau and his crew aboard Cousteau's vessel the Calypso and the transit of the first white tiger from India to the United States. Abercrombie was the first Western journalist to cover the Islamic pilgrimage to Mecca in his article Beyond the Sands of Mecca, published 1966. He was invited to work at National Geographic, where his first report was from Lebanon. He had never been abroad before. As a staff member of National Geographic, Abercrombie was best known for his work in Arab countries, visited all 7 continents, and was one of the first 2 journalists to reach the South Pole in 1957. Abercrombie was the first person to win both the Newspaper Photographer of the Year, 1954, and the Magazine Photographer of the Year, 1959. He dived with Jacques Cousteau, who said it was like swimming with a fish. Mr. Abercrombie visited all 7 continents, and he seemed to have seen nearly everything on them, around them and between them, from the empty quarter of Saudi Arabia to the megaliths of Easter Island. He traveled to Japan, Indonesia, Iran and the Asiatic republics of what was then the Soviet Union. He visited nearly every country of the Middle East and became so enamored of the region's people and culture that he converted to Islam in 1964, taking the name Omar. He was the magazine's expert on the Middle East, and reported from Mecca. He covered the region from Morocco to Afghanistan for more than 3 decades, until he retired in 1994. During his 40 years at National Geographic, he published 40 stories from all around the world. Over the years, he became the magazine's expert on the Arab world, and he was so impressed by Islam that he read the Quran in Arabic and became a Muslim. He made 4 pilgrimages to Mecca, where he took the first photographs of the city made for the Western world. He griped in a 1995 oral history that probably the best story I ever wrote never saw print. It was an exploration of the Palestinians, titled Defiant Diaspora, which he said was spiked because of an excess of political correctness. Thomas J. Abercrombie, 75, a National Geographic magazine photographer and writer who negotiated countless near-death ordeals during his 38 years of world travel, died April 3 at Johns Hopkins Hospital of complications from open-heart surgery.